A day of reckoning's coming. You can only delay this for so long. You can only delay it for so long. They might have cheated the Donald once, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen again. I reckon he's going to be back. And I keep telling people this. This is what I keep telling the QAnon people. Drop it. Drop it, okay? He's not coming back. They keep saying, Joel, he's not coming back 2024. He's coming back in 2021. I'm like, okay, whatever. I get it. You still believe in what's going to happen. You believe that he's doing a psyop not a psyop. He's working on behalf of the military to bring down the government, and he's going to arrest the big cabal, and he's got Jeffrey Epstein still alive, and he's got all this, hidden information on some of the Supreme Court judges and all these people, and Bill Gates is actually dead. And it's like, I'm sorry, guys, if I don't have any patience for this. You had a good year in 2020. A ton of things came true, but that doesn't mean you've got unlimited patience from me. You're only as good as your track record. Some would say you're only as good as your last prediction. But your track record's shit. To put it frankly, ship. I said ship. YouTube, please don't demonetize the video. I wanted to move on to some questions. And you know what's funny? This week, we might not even have an additional segment, because all the things that I've actually said, I've moderated them so that they shouldn't get censored. Shouldn't. That's the key word. But we'll see how we go. These are questions that I've received from my Subscribestar followers, and I love them so much. These are the guys and girls that keep me going. Many of which are boomers, and I love my boomers. I had boomer parents, and so I mean it when I say I was trying to help the boomers before. But please, if you can, subscribe to Subscribestar. Give this video a like and a share. It helps with the algorithms. I'm going to do this on YouTube live, because these questions are actually fine. They shouldn't clash with the algorithms at all. They don't clash the 4 topics that we talk about. But please become a subscriber. I take these questions from Subscribe every week. The Subscribestar people, I put a post out, they leave a comment, and these are directly from there, completely uncensored. So thank you guys. Thank you for the support. I love you guys very much, not just because you pay me, but because you guys are the ones that are willing to put your money where your mouth is, and that says a lot about you as people. And I'm not just telling you to help me out. If you're in Victoria, and I've often said, I've told you other people you can also back. First question's from Tegan. He says, "Hi Joel, just wondering what happened with Ricardo and you parting ways. You had a very successful show. I hope all is well with you both going forward." This is a post that we put out earlier. I think it was a Sunday last week, a week ago. So Ricardo, he put this post out which just said, "Just a quick note to say thanks to Joel for his work on the ARC with Ricardo Bossi. It was a great ride, and we wish him all the best for the future. Australia One will continue to address the issues of the day with a new free-to-view program covering local, state, national, international politics as we build up for the next federal election. Stay tuned, and we'll let you know when we're ready to go. Australia One, our best future." Good on him. That's great. I wish them the best of luck in doing the show. I love to see other people step up in alternative media and do this, and I wish them all the best with that. And I did in reply to that, because it was almost coordinated, because we both knew we were doing a post on Sunday. I then replied to that by saying, over 12 million views in 20 episodes, 70.2% of people first saw Ricardo on the ARC. 101,000 people follow Ricardo Bossi's Facebook page, making it the 29th biggest page, second to Gladys Berejiklian herself. It was a pleasure working with Ricardo Bossi and the Australia One Party on the ARC, and I wish him the best of luck in the upcoming federal election, particularly in Queensland. The ARC will be continuing to shed a light on the issues facing Australia, and we will be entering the new season of the show with more content and new guests. And all of that is true. We are. I can't wait to the new chapter of the ARC. I think it was about, and I hope Ricardo will forgive me saying this, but I think it was about a little over a month ago, Ricardo came in and we were having a discussion about what he's basically doing, because we both know there's probably going to be a federal election this year, maybe even in November, but it could technically be as early as August. That's the thing. And I basically was asking how the party's going and this and that, and I made it very clear that I won't be joining Ricardo in Queensland, because as you guys know, He ran in the Queensland election, and as he said on camera, I do believe the law is that you have to move up there, and you have to be up there if you run in that election. That's my understanding of it. But I said to him, it's great to hear, but I probably won't be moving up there. You know, I have a house to keep. I do have a ton of bills to pay here, and I can't leave my family at this time. So whenever this election is, so I said, look, I won't be joining you in Queensland, and I've been looking for a replacement for months. I mean, when I was doing the Queensland tour, I was meeting with people up there to find an ARC replacement for Ricardo and A1 up there. So it's none of this isn't a surprise, guys. This is really good to see, because I want to see other people step up as well in every state, pursuing truth like Monica Smith does in Victoria very well under Reignite Democracy. And this is really, really healthy stuff. This is what I want to see. I want to see a strong country where lots of individuals, as Ricardo's book says, helps them get their stuff together as an individual and become very powerful contributors to society. And that's what we need. Now, however, I need to focus on my state. I live in New South Wales. I am staying here. And as far as I'm aware, the only parties that I could kind of back right now is Australia One, if they have candidates. I don't know of any candidates yet in Australia One in New South Wales. I'm not saying there won't be. I'm saying I don't actually have an insight into the running of A1, despite the fact I had the show with Ricardo. I mean, I stayed right out of it. I was never a member. And I liked it that way. I like the separation between my parties and the media. I don't like what we see with the mainstream media and the big parties. You sometimes see collusion, and I hate that. But with Ricardo, I genuinely don't know of any candidates running for Australia One in New South Wales. I hope there is, because Australians need an alternative that's going to be way better than these major parties. So at this stage, I know there's definitely going to be candidates for One Nation, which is a party I can definitely say, yep, go for. And if A1 comes with some, then great. I'd love to meet the candidates too, and maybe do a show with them. In terms of the other parties, the Christian Democrat Party is a disaster right now. They're still going through a lawsuit, that's crazy. What's happening there? They're in a complete debacle. And I've often talked about this. I don't like to go into depth because I hate rubbing salt into the wound, but it's a disaster over there. The Federation Party, I don't know of any candidates running in the Federation Party. I haven't met anyone in the Federation Party recently. So I mean, I don't have an inclination to vote for them yet. Maybe I'll do some more research. What are the other parties? I mean, we know about Liberal, Labor, Greens, and Nationals. Not interested. I put them all last. Greens absolute last. But yeah, that's it. I can't think of any parties. But this is the thing. I am very, very worried. I am incredibly worried. There are good people that we've talked about on the show, Ricardo and I have talked about on the show, that are in trouble in New South Wales. I mean, we've got Joel Fitzgibbons, a man of Labor, who helped to moderate the radical green agenda of the Labor Party. He's been completely sidelined, basically. Who knows if he's even going to make pre-selection to win. He's electorates in New South Wales, I think in the Hills area. You've got recently resigned Craig Kelly. He's in trouble. What's he going to do? I don't know. He's going to be an independent in his area. I think he can win as an independent. Maybe he'll need a bit of help. Who else have we got? We've got Jim Molan. He's someone that's tried to secure our strategic oil reserves. He's someone that's tried to help us have a cohesive plan to address our military strategy for Australia. These are all people. And he's in a tough spot, Jim Molan, as well. He got the most amount of votes below the line. He didn't manage to get a Senate seat in the last election because they put him in the unwinnable spot, I think number 4 or 5. And he's been sitting in Senator Sinodinos's seat, who was a senator who went to, he had to resign his position to Jim Molan because he went to America. Sinodinos, he went to America so he could fill Mike Pompeo's job of, representing Australia there, ambassador to America. And so we're in a situation where basically I'm very worried about New South Wales and where things are going, because the parties, as I said, not many candidates for A1, some candidates for One Nation, but not in every electorate. We've got some scattered people like Joel Fitzgibbons, like who else have we've got? We've got Craig Kelly and we've got Jammal, and we've also got people in the Liberal Party and Labor Party as well in the Senate that are also being pushed back. We've got Conchetta Fierravanti-Wells, who's the Liberal Party senator who might be put third or fourth on the Senate candidacy seat, which is not good. It's an unwinnable position. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. She's a good senator. She's batted for a ton of policies, and especially on religious freedom, which is something I've talked with Dr. Con Kafataris a lot with on the show, on Thin Ice. And we've also got, in the Labor Party, we've got, what's her name, Joel? What's her name? Another senator. I can't remember her name right now. They're going to put her third or fourth. This is a woman who didn't vote yes on the same-sex marriage thing. When the vote came around in 2017, she actually didn't vote. And in the Labor Party terms, you never vote no, you just don't vote. That's like your no vote. And that is not something I want to see. She's also someone who's been good on religious freedom. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing that at all. And the more that I see the mainstream parties getting rid of these really good people for moderating their parties to what the Australians want, the more I get frustrated, and I want to help empower them. And so my focus is more towards New South Wales, and I want to really empower them there. And I wish A1 the best of luck. A lot of people have been reading into this too much, I think. But as I said, this has been a few weeks in the making in terms of what's happening with Ricardo going to Queensland and his electorate being in Queensland. And I wish them all the best of luck. And I can't wait to see their new show and how that progresses. And if you're in other states, guys, honestly, if you have the means, if you have the ability, if you have the skills to start a show like I did on the ARC, and I'll continue to run here, please just do it. Go and do it. Just start it up. Start talking. Start having conversations. You will make mistakes. That's okay. I've made mistakes. But you need to keep moving forward. That's how you're going to actually progress the nation and help save the nation. You can't keep saying, what if? You've got to leave nothing in the tank. That's what we say in rugby. Leave nothing on the tank. Leave it all on the field. Just go for it. And that's what I want to see more of. So I hope that answers your question in a very long way, Tegan. I gave it a long answer because a lot of people have been very, they've been reading into it too much. And I'm like, guys, I'll explain on the next podcast, but he needs to focus on his party and his Queensland. I mean, A1's not even actually registered yet as a party yet. That still needs to be done. And so they've got a ton of work to do. I'll put it that way. Question from Philip. He says, "Hi Joel, I understand you not being able to answer every question from last week, but I'd still like to hear both yours and Ricardo's view on the maniac Bill Gates, the recent revelation on him becoming the largest landholder in the US, and his insane push for synthetic meat has really got me peed off. Is there any way we can stop this lunatic, and what can we do here in Australia to mitigate his influence here? Regards, Phil." He is a maniac, isn't he? Yeah, he's the biggest landowner. And fun fact, I might have said this on the show already,